Which of your Star Wars novels did you enjoy writing the most?
Traitor. Without a doubt. Because for one thing, I knew exactly what the story was going to be. Because I pitched it under pressure. I think Mike is off doing his writing workshop. Mike Statler was a writer who preceded me in the order of the New Jedi Order. And when I was originally hired to do that book, I was told that they wanted me to take this Jim Lucino character for Jer and make her like the Yoda of the New Jedi Order. And what they wanted her to do is teach Jason how to withdraw from the Force so that he would be completely undetectable, even by other Force sensors. Right? So he could sneak in and do secret agent stuff. And in Onslaught, Mike just, the second book, the NJO, Traitor's 13, he just casually references that ability as just something that all of the current crop of Jedi already know how to do. When I went to the story conference, I mentioned that to the editors, and they looked at each other and they're like, "Oh, right. That was what we wanted you to do." We didn't even notice. And that's what I left that first evening at the story conference in a panic. But the next morning I just got this idea of having for Jer not be never really knowing what her game really is. Right? Because Jason doesn't know. So I decided I wasn't going to let the readers know either. And the whole, the way I pitched that story was, what if Jason is already a captain, is being tortured, and she comes in as his rescuer, but what she says to him is not, I'm Luke Skywalker, I'm going to rescue you. What she says to him is, everything I tell you is a lie. Every question I ask is a trick. You will find no truth in me. And so Jason, that let me have Jason's focus be on what is she trying to do to me, right? Not just surviving it, but trying to understand why she's doing it. And I also knew that I was going to get to have a Force-using character say, there's no such thing as the dark side. I knew I was going to get to do that. And I knew I was going to get to do the only dark side you need to worry about, Jason Solo, is the one inside you. And I knew it was going to be a shitstorm. and I was so excited. One of my best friends at the time was an even bigger Star Wars geek than me. And when I got back from the story conference, I went over to his house. It was like 10 o'clock at night. And I was like, John. I'm going to fuck with these people like they've never been And because of that, because it was the original title of that book was Underworld, which they nixed because I think it was a Quinlan Voss arc in the Dark Horse comics when it was going by that name. They preempted my name, but the whole Underworld, the story was plotted as a kind of classical Greek mythology journey through the underworld, right? Stations of the underworld returning to the whole Joseph Campbell thing. So I had the whole thing, and it's a bottle story, right? It's only about the characters in there, the wider war that was going on around them, not an issue. So I didn't have to coordinate with anybody. I told them what the beginning was going to be, what the end was going to be, and just did it. And I did the whole thing, and it was actually the last book of my career that I turned in by the deadline. It was really fun. I've never had that much fun with a book. No. So there you go.
So I assume the answer to my question is going to be that, but if, aside from Revenge of the Sith, are there any of your books that you'd like to have adapted into a live action?
Oh, no,
Or not?
Shadow. If they were going to adapt into a live action or even an animated version, I think Carl would rule in an animated version.
Yeah.
But yeah, that, you know, Traitor, I don't think works without the context of the New Jedi. I mean, I know there are some people I know who have just read that because they were fans of mine, not NGO fans, and they still like it, but I feel like without that context, it's not that really that powerful a story. You know, if you didn't know Anakin and watch what happened to him in Star by Star, yeah. If you didn't know that, you don't know where Jason is at the beginning of this book. Because I don't do backstory. If I can avoid it. I hate exposition. I hate it. I try never to tell people anything more than what they need to know to understand what's going on right now. And so Traitor, yeah, favorite Star Wars book, fun to write, but I don't think it would work that well in an adaptation.
Yeah.
And also, there's a lot more ass kicking.
It's graphic. It's very graphic, but that's one of my favorite parts about it. Is